The movie begins with Ray King, a former deputy director at FEN, sitting in a bar during bingo night. A young woman named Anaïs approaches him, while men working for someone named Burke watch them closely. Ray shows Anaïs a photo of the Sanchez family from El Salvador. She assumes he's asking her to kill them, but he explains that he's trying to locate them on behalf of Edith's father. Realizing he's being watched, Ray writes something on his arm and tries to escape. He fights and kills two of Burke's men before the bar descends into chaos. As Ray flees into the street, he is shot dead by Cobb, Burke's top enforcer. Following Ray's death, Marybeth Medina, the current deputy director of FEN and Ray's emergency contact, arrives at the morgue to confirm his identity. She notices the words "Find the accountant" scrawled on his arm. Meanwhile, Christian Wolff, the accountant, is in contact with his handler Justine before heading into a speed dating session. At first, many women are eager to meet him, but their interest fades quickly after interacting with him. Christian uses a self-designed algorithm to evaluate compatibility and makes blunt remarks, dismissing love at first sight, admitting he has no friends or pets, and lives in an airstream, leaving the women unimpressed. Marybeth begins digging into whatever Ray was investigating. She finds documents connected to Chris and reaches out to a neuroscience academy tied to him. On the other end of the line, Justine overhears that Ray has been killed. Meanwhile, Burke and his enforcer, Cobb, discuss Ray and Anaïs at their work site. They recognize Anaïs. She had once interrupted a meeting Burke was having with three men, killed them, but spared Burke. Burke sends Cobb to Fort Worth to deal with anyone else poking into their operations. Marybeth is later found by Chris in a parking lot. They look into Ray's pictures and research, finding several pictures of dead Chilean ex-Special Forces guys, as well as a tax return from Edith Sanchez. They find that Edith's father was a man named Emiliano Gonzalez, who was shot to death in Fort Worth. The next day, Chris and Marybeth go to a pizza factory to speak to the manager, Ike, since Edith allegedly worked there. When Ike doesn't give them the information they need, Chris gets out his own research and suggests that Ike is involved with money laundering. Ike gets in Chris's face, leading to Chris twisting his finger and then skillfully fighting off a few employees coming to Ike's aid. Eventually, Chris gets Ike to admit that he gets money from a man named Tomas, who is involved in trafficking women. In a luxurious Berlin hotel, Chris's brother Braxton is trying to adopt a corgi puppy, but the adoption agent refuses to release the dog before the scheduled time. Later, while on a job to eliminate some targets, Braxton receives a call from Chris asking for help. Though bitter about their strained relationship and the fact that Chris hasn't contacted him in 8 years, Braxton eventually agrees to meet. Brax meets Chris and Marybeth at a motel, where the brothers wait in a room for 3 prostitutes. They gives the money in exchange for information on Tomas, but the women are terrified. 2 leave, but one stays behind and asks for extra payment to escape Tomas. The men wait for Tomas to arrive. When he does, Brax punches him off the balcony and onto a car, knocking him out before they stuff him into Marybeth's trunk. She's annoyed until Chris has Justine manipulate traffic so that no cops stop her car. Meanwhile, Marybeth learns of Emiliano's death, Edith's husband, Gino's murder, and the disappearance of their son, Alberto. The following day, Marybeth joins Chris and Brax as Chris contacts Justine for assistance. Marybeth tries to convince Chris that her friend from Homeland Security, a computer science PhD, has access to critical databases and that only 2 security cameras were operational the night Ray was killed. Meanwhile, Justine mobilizes her team of young hackers to scan surveillance across Los Angeles to locate Anaïs. They discover footage of a woman named Pamela taking a selfie that inadvertently captured Anaïs. The hackers locate Pamela's laptop and search her files for the photo. Despite Marybeth's protests about violating privacy and the risk of being exposed, they retrieved the selfie just in time, confirming Anaïs' presence at the scene and revealing that she's been involved in assassinations across the globe targeting criminal organizations. Marybeth also learns that Brax was responsible for some of these killings, prompting her to break away from the brothers and continue her investigation by the book. Later, Marybeth and a lawyer meet with Tomas and his attorney. It's revealed that Ike has been murdered with a rat stuffed into his throat. Before Thomas can agree to give his testimony against his employers, Cobb kills both him and his lawyer with a sniper shot from a nearby building. Meanwhile, Justine informs Chris of an old car accident involving a woman, hinting at a deeper mystery. Chris and Brax grow closer and later head to a bar where Chris catches the attention of a waitress named Angie. He joins her and others for a line dance, but things escalate when Angie's ex-boyfriend shows up to provoke him. Brax steps in to help, and together they take down the ex and his friends before fleeing the scene. Brax is also proud to see that Chris got Angie's number. Marybeth uncovers more about the woman in the car accident. She had lost her memory and undergone facial reconstruction surgery. The trauma also triggered acquired servant syndrome, giving her extraordinary abilities in areas like chess and eventually in killing. That woman turned out to be Edith Sanchez, who later assumed the identity of Anaïs. At some point she became violent, attacked a guard and escaped the facility where she was being treated. That night, Brax's boss, Batu, owner of Europe's biggest assassination network and on Burke's payroll, orders Brax to eliminate Marybeth. Chris learns about the hit before bed and rushes to save her. However, Anaïs arrives first. It's revealed that Batu cancelled Brax's assignment and sent Anaïs instead. She confronts Marybeth and the two fight, ending with Anaïs stabbing Marybeth in the abdomen. Before leaving, Anaïs spots a photo of herself as Edith alongside Gino and Alberto. The image triggers memories of her past being trafficked by Burke's men and witnessing Gino's murder. Chris arrives just in time to help Marybeth. Meanwhile, Batu contacts Burke to report that an unknown force interfered with the hits, but reminds him that the contract stands until Marybeth is dead. In response, Burke orders Cobb and his other goons to round up the kidnapped children at their compound in Juarez and to execute all of them. With help from Justine, Chris and Brax head to Juarez to rescue them. The villains round up the children on the bus, but the brothers arrive and begin to open fire on the mercs. Cobb drives the bus away after several of his men are killed. Chris gets Brax into a van and follows the bus as they make it to a pit that the kids are forced into. The brothers shoot the mercs, but Cobb is on the bus with Alberto. Chris makes it onto the bus while Brax is in the back. Cobb tries to sell out Burke just before Chris and Brax both put bullets into him. They then get the kids out of the pit and drive the bus to take them home. Brax makes Chris stop the bus to pick up a stray cat. Chris earlier told him he's more of a cat person. Justine then calls Batu, threatening to expose all his secrets unless he calls off the hit on Marybeth. She also contacts Anaïs and gives her Burke's location. Meanwhile, Batu informs Burke that the contract is void. Burke, fresh out of the shower, realizes Anaïs is there. She grabs a large knife and follows him, ready for revenge. Marybeth, now recovered, returns to her job. She dials a number that Justine is monitoring to express her gratitude for saving the kids, saying Ray would have been proud. Meanwhile, the young hackers prepare a special room at their hideout for Alberto, who is being brought to them by Chris and Brax. On the road, Chris asks Brax to go hiking together so they can finally spend time as brothers, something that makes Brax genuinely happy. If you enjoyed this video, don't be shy to hit the like button. And if you disliked it, hit the dislike button twice just to be sure. It would be best if you watched the whole movie. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe for more videos like this.